Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inspirational Corner with me, your host, Stylisha Bolton, where we encourage you here to live bold, live loud, and live authentically without apology. Welcome to the seventh episode of the Inspirational Corner podcast. If you have found yourself here today listening in, I just want to say thank you for choosing the Inspirational Corner podcast to get inspired and uplifted. I cannot believe this is my seventh episode. I think about just 2 months ago, I started my podcast. I just jumped and took a leap because it was way overdue. And that took some courage and being brave and not worrying about whether I had everything together and having everything so perfect. I am so glad I took the leap and started this podcast. Today on episode 7, we are going to be talking about how enough you are and knowing that you are enough. However, because we are celebrating Women's History Month, this subject is truly for women to understand how powerful, how extraordinary, how beautiful that we are by truly walking in our femininity, our feminine purpose, and being who we are unapologetically. So many years ago, I dealt with low self-esteem, low self-worth, and everything else under the sun because of going through mental, emotional, physical, abusive relationship, verbally abusive relationships with the men I were involved with, being raped at the age of 18, and felt like after being raped, it created bitterness within me. It created me not feeling like I was enough, or feeling like that, I wasn't worthy. However, as I have grown and strengthened my relationship with God, I know that was far from the truth. And so, as women, we are in such a strong movement in today's society where our voices are no longer being muted, that we're standing up for what we believe in, that we're being empowered to be honest and express our truth no matter who it rubs the wrong way. I think this is important for this time and this season and the world that we're living in now. Movements like the Me Too movement is important. I think it's really important because of how women are scared to speak their truth and speak from a place of where they're coming from. I think in our society as a whole, we've been programmed as women to just be nice, and you don't supposed to ask for what you want. That's too masculine. And or you can't be a strong woman and be proud of being a woman and walking in your femininity and still have a voice. And I feel like because we have been programmed that way, we settle, we play all these roles, because as women, we're not only working, we are mothers. If you're married or if you're in a relationship, you're catering to that spouse or that partner that you're with, and all the roles that we hold on to and that we work through, it can be overwhelming. It can be too much. And when I was going through my journey, I'll call it my authentic journey. When I was going through my journey of learning to deal with my issues and face my issues and work on my issues, the word enough came up because I didn't feel enough. I felt like I had to do more to be more to get more. I felt like I had to people please. I had to overgive. I had to chase the different men I was involved with to get them to understand who I was, to let them know, no, I'm the one for you. I'm the one. Marry me, be with me. that desperation of feeling like I needed to convince other people that I was extraordinary when God had already created me and proclaimed me to be extraordinary just because I existed and I was birthed into this world. And I didn't understand that concept back then like I understand it now. In this world, we have a lot of words and images and ideas of what we should be and how we should act every day as a woman. And that can plague us in negative ways because a lot of women don't feel empowered and don't feel uplifted because they feel like they constantly got to prove themselves over and over and over and over again to feel like they're not enough. We are beat down on ourselves. We are beat ourselves up. We won't encourage ourselves. We won't appreciate ourselves. This big movement on self-care and everything. We won't give ourselves the time that we need, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, recreationally. We don't take the time to face or deal with our internal issues so we can be better or get into personal development, which I'm going to talk about later in this podcast. However, as I went through this transition of not feeling like I was enough, like I needed other people's approval, I was exhausted. I was tired. I kept attracting people that wasn't for me, that was using and abusing my kindness, or me. I could say I was just being naive, but I got tired of feeling low or allowing other people to make me feel low, like I needed to prove who I was to them, or I had to earn their friendship, or I had to keep on chasing after their love and chasing after their friendship. I got tired of that, and something hit me in my 30s. When I turned 30, I realized the people and things that I was attracting was because I didn't face the issues that I needed to face from my past, like my rape. That was the beginning of me feeling worthless and not enough. That was the root of everything that was created from that. And so in my 30s, going through therapy, getting the help I need mentally, emotionally, on top of other things that triggered things in my life, to push me to the edge. When my 2-year-old daughter passed away, that was just the last straw to push me over the edge, where my life changed, I changed, and I have never been the same ever since that. But if it was not for those, I can say, traumatic things that happened in my life, I would not be the woman I am today. I would not be talking to you all on this podcast, uplifting you, empowering you, and telling you that you are enough. I have constantly gone through different insanity cycles of not feeling like what I do and who I am was enough. I felt like I needed to be desired and accepted by other people, and I needed the validation of people to tell me, oh, your podcast is good, so you should do it. Or I have all these people following me and liking my podcast and saying, oh, I could do this podcast because this person like it. That would have been my mindset several years ago if I would have started the podcast then. I wasn't even ready. But now I know whether 1 or 2 people listen to the podcast, I'm doing what I was called to do. I'm not waiting for an opportunity or somebody to say, oh, here, Stylisha, here's an opportunity to have your voice heard. I chose to create my own opportunity because I truly believe in myself. At this point in my life, at this stage and age and development in my life, I believe in my greatness. I know that all the extraordinary things I've been through is producing and creating the extraordinary woman that I am. I know that I am worthy of receiving all great things that God has for my life. I don't need other people's validation, approval, or co-signing on the things that I can and cannot do. I know that I have a right to create my own life and not wait on other people to give me the go ahead or the go light or the green light, I can say, to live the life of my dreams. I have been in a place where I found myself on an endless journey. And I know some women, you can relate to what I'm saying. You found yourself on the endless journey of trying to please others, believing this would cure your hunger of approval. But it doesn't, because what happens is you're constantly changing who you are to get approval. And then you realize that that person is never going to be satisfied with who you are and what you do. They're going to always find something to tear you down, or they're going to find something that they like or don't like about you. That's how the world is. But as women, when we understand that all the roles that we play are vital to society, our bodies were created to bring life into the world, which is powerful, which means that we also can give life to our own life into different situations. I feel like being a woman is powerful because we create life and we bring life. However, our growth is stunted when we start to put ourselves down, when we don't address our issues, like I talked about before, rape, whether it's childhood things, whether it's mental, emotional, internal things that we just go through, period. And when we don't face those insecurities or those internal things, it creates a monster. It creates bigger issues outside of us. However, when we are intentional about taking steps to change our idea of who we are and realize, I am enough, I've always was enough, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody, then this changes our whole existence in life, and it shifts us to a different level. And the reason I can say that, because when I started to believe in myself and took a step back, this happened, like I said, in the beginning of my 30s. I had to stop doing a lot of things that I was doing for a lot of people, emptying myself out, being on E, and thinking that was the way to be, giving and giving and giving so much of myself when I wasn't getting filled back up. And I realized, well, I have the power to fill myself up. Instead of giving and giving from an empty cup, I had to realize that I love myself enough to fill my vessel up, and I can only give what I have out of my overflow to other people. I can no longer be on empty and people taking, and I'm just over giving. And I had to learn how precious that I was, how precious I am, and that my well-being, my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health, my spiritual health, financial health, and all of the above matters, not only to me but especially to God. And I had to debunk a lot of negative beliefs I had about putting myself in first place. I had to cut off some family members. I had to, when I say cut off, I don't mean anything negative. I just love them from afar. I talk to them when I talk to them, and I could still love them and still be kind, but I love them from afar. Friends, so-called friends that I had to rotate out of my life, no drama. I just had to love them from afar and know that as I grew and became a different person, I could not entertain the toxic or negative things that they may have contribute to my own toxic environment within myself. And sometimes we have to cut the toxic people out of life, but it don't have to be drama filled. It can be in love, in light, in peace. It could just be a quick transition, because that's what growth does. You can hold that space, love them from afar, without there being any kind of craziness or drama. One thing I can say is my spiritual beliefs help me understand the importance of self-love, self-acceptance, and understanding that God accepts me for who I am already. I don't need to prove to people that I am enough anymore. I don't really care if people think I'm enough or not, because I know that I'm extraordinary, and I know that now, and confidence matters. It does. It truly does. And I know my confidence and my strength comes from God on a spiritual level. And knowing that, I know that I'm everything that I need to be at this present moment. Nothing or what nobody say. People gonna always have something to say. They can agree with me. They don't have to. They can agree or disagree with me. But I know I have value, and I bring value to the world. And when you know that you bring value to the world, everything shifts in your life. Everything changes. The whole atmosphere and game changes. So today, in this episode, especially with celebrating Women's History Month, I just want to let you know that you are enough, that you do matter. I want to give you 5 techniques that help me gain awareness of how extraordinary I really am and understand how extraordinary I was. The first technique was, it's not really a technique, but the first thing was me reading the Bible, reading daily devotions. I love reading daily devotions in my version app Bible. I connect, I like reading the word, but I usually go to the daily devotions because they are more relatable to me, and I can look up a subject, something I'm dealing with or something I need to be strengthened in, and I go to the version app and I get what I need. And that fed me. That feeds me because it encourages me and uplifts me and empowers me to know that you are enough. Your existence on earth is for a purpose and reason. You're taking up space, breathing and living, and being a powerful woman is for a reason. This is God created you to be stylish and to have these likes and dislikes and all these things that make me who I am, the unique things that make me who I am. I embrace those things now instead of shunning those things away or feeling like I need to camouflage myself and be something that I'm not. The second thing that has helped me bring awareness to my extraordinary power and enoughness is meditation. I meditate daily with the Calm app, and you could download that on your Android or iPhone. Calm app has truly helped me find my center, and what I mean by that is my peace, my joy, and relaxing to help me navigate through the noise in the world. And I can sit in solitude and meditate and get what I need from that. The third thing where I have learned that I am extraordinary and that I was enough was through affirmations. Affirmations have helped me lift my spirit up, has encouraged me, and has also helped me stay in alignment to who I am. And when I feel out of alignment, affirmations get me back in alignment. And I always start my affirmations with I am. Like, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am peace. Those key things are important. Always using I am is powerful. It's powerful to use I am. For me, spiritually, it means to me that God says He's the great I am. So when you say I am joy, I am peace, you're declaring that you are who God said you are. And you adding the word on there. I am wealth, I am prosperity, I am rich, I am beautiful, I am feminine, I am whole. You're declaring and decreeing who you are in God and who God already said you are. The fourth thing that has helped me is life coaching. I have worked with various life coaches, whether it was business, spiritual, personal development. I have worked with various life coaches since 2012, I can say. And it has really helped me grow and develop as a person and to work on internal things that I needed to be manifested externally. In 2000, maybe the end of 2015, I started working with my life coach that I have now, and I have taken like different programs that she offer, and I have enjoyed the growth and where I'm at and how it has helped me. But mind you, in life coaching, you have to put in the work. You can't expect the life coach to do it. You have to, they'll give you the tools, but you have to put in the work. And the life coach I do work with now, her name is Tanya Lee, FrenchKissLife.com. She has different programs that you can choose to purchase. I've done her MDI program, Modern Day Icon program, SCS, Slim Chic and Savvy, Charm the Room. The current one I'm doing now is called the French Kiss Life Masterclass. And I'm telling you, all these programs you could go back to and you could take your time. You don't have to rush through them. And that's the beauty of taking her program. So I have enjoyed working with her, and working with her has helped me take my power back in my confidence, my self-esteem, and definitely in my femininity. It has helped me understand that being a woman is a beautiful thing, and not only that, that you don't have to act like a man to be in this world as a woman. You can still be a feminine woman and still be powerful with your femininity, because that's what we have that men don't have. We have the femininity, the intuition. We have all that within us, and we give life, we birth life, we bring life. That's the total opposite of what men do. So that's the beauty of knowing that we are enough, and that's the beauty of knowing that how different God created us and how powerful we are in just that aspect. And the last thing I have done to create awareness on my power, on being enough when I don't feel like enough, is writing and journaling. Writing has been my own personal therapy to help me heal through different processes that I have went through in my life. You don't have to be a writer to start journaling your emotions on paper. That can be something you can just do. I believe journaling is therapeutic to assist you in sorting out your emotions, and it helps you gain clarity. Sometimes you'll have a situation come up, and it may not always be meant to address the person, but you need to emotionally release and declutter how you feel. You don't want to be backed up emotionally, because that's not healthy as well. So these 5 ways help me gain a lot of clarity on who I am, and why it was important for me to understand that who I was and what I did and how I bring substance to the world just by me being me was just literally enough. And so with that said, I want you to know, don't feel like you have to be anybody else but yourself. Don't feel like you have to validate yourself, fit in, explain yourself, or chase other people to make them see who you are. You need to see who you are. You need to believe in yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to accept yourself. All this starts from within. All of this starts from within. When you start loving yourself, when you start understanding that you are extraordinary, that there is one you, nobody can be like you, nobody can think like you, nobody can be you. You alone are worthy. You alone are enough. I just want you to all understand that today. So I want to end today with a quote. And I don't know who this quote by, but I think it's important to express this quote, because I think it just goes right along with what was talked about today about you being enough. Listen to your own voice, your own soul. Too many people listen to the noise of the world instead of themselves. Deep inside, you know what you want. Let no one decide that for you. I want to read the quote again. Listen to your own voice, your own soul. Too many people listen to the noise of the world instead of themselves. Deep inside, you know what you want. Let no one decide that for you. And with that said, you are enough. You always been enough. And until the next time, everybody, have a beautiful day. And remember, live bold, live loud, and live authentically without apology. Have a beautiful day.